Cooking your way through life.
Yo. Hey guys, welcome back. Chef Drake. And I'm going to show you another tip or trick that you might not know. It's just pretty much my tips and tricks that I do. So these go along with my episodes. So sometimes I do things in the episodes and then you might be like, oh, why did he do that? Or I have a question. So I try to do those here and then always comment and subscribe and I will get back to your questions as soon as I can. So today I want to go over cooking with wine. So I just have five, maybe I've been drinking. No, I have 4 different types of wine here, just so you understand cooking with wine as we're going over it. So the first thing is the one wine I don't have here, and this usually happens to amateur cooks or home cooks or people that want to start cooking because you go to the grocery store and you're trying to be good and you really want to get good on that path, but you walk down the aisle and you see something called cooking wine. It is the worst wine to cook with because of the fact, unlike these 4 wines that I have in front of you, cooking wine, if you turn it around, most of the time, the first or second ingredient in cooking wine is salt or sodium. So when we're using wine to cook with, if you watch my different recipes, then you notice that we're using them to deglaze pans, we're using them to cook down and braise with. So we're reducing the wine when we cook it. So if it has salt in it, when you reduce down that flavor, the flavor that you're left with is salt. So that's why we don't like cooking with cooking wine. That one's out the door. The next wine that you really don't want to cook with are wines that are really, really strong. So for instance, this is one of my favorite wines and it's actually one of my favorite vineyards, Schaefer. And this is Hillside Select. So this wine is amazing to me. But it's super, super strong in flavor. It's robust. If I cook this wine down, it's actually will be usually super strong for a lot of dishes. So it's going to overpower it. When you cook with the wine, reducing it down means more flavor for you. It's going to increase by 3 to 4 times. Now, when this happens, if you're using something like this one or a very oaky Chardonnay, for instance, you cook that wine down, the flavor increases, that oaky Chardonnay turns into a very amazing perfume or cologne on your plate. Or this turns into something that is so strong and just so forward, it blocks out all the other things I'm cooking with. If I put this with veal, I wouldn't even be able to taste the veal. So that's what I'm talking about. So these 2, cooking wines and your really, really strong wines. But this leads us to what wines do you cook with? You can cook with any wine that you like to drink. I can cook with this wine because I know the flavor profile. I do know that it will block out veal, but I can use it for duck or lamb if I would like, because I know those are gamier, fattier proteins, so it won't really overpower it. But that takes me to, why would I use this amazing wine to cook with? Now, if you're just drinking your regular wine on a budget and like not the super, super expensive wines, then yes, cook with those wines. Drink and cook. If you're in Europe, usually you can drink and cook with any wine you have because they have the pleasure of having the amazing wines everywhere. But for us in America, I'm in Georgia right now, so you have to remember that a lot of times you want to just buy some of the lower price wines to cook with. So I'm in Georgia, so Aldi is my go-to usually for wines to cook with. And I have red and white here, and I can use them in any recipes because unlike the wine that we talked about, the cooking wine, it has no salt. So it just gives me the wine flavor that I'm looking for. The other one I want to talk about are sparkling wines, champagne, sparkling wines, anything with bubbles. Those are a little harder to cook with. One of the things I usually cook with sparkling wine is usually some different desserts. So panna cotta, risotto, panna cotta. But I was gonna say my favorite thing is risotto. I love cooking risotto with champagne or sparkling wine because I love the flavor of it when it absorbs, and then I cool it down and then I cook it for wherever I like. So that is one of my go-tos as well. So yeah, that is your wine. And remember, cook whatever wine you like, but stay away from the store wines that say cooking wines and stay away from the really, really strong wines unless you know exactly how they taste. Otherwise, have fun. Don't drink too much while you're cooking and your food will come out amazing. See you next time.
Cooking your way through life.
For watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe even learned something. You know what to do next. Please hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons below and have a great day.